I want to pick up a few points about Marine Le Pen, because no sooner have I posted something than people are sort of onto it immediately. And BKUF6QR says, I wasn't sure where you'd be on this issue. Sometimes you stand up for rights and sometimes not, depending on where the politics fall. Banning people from office is an infringement without due cause. You stayed away from the outright opinion, which is telling. You support it despite somewhere in your conscience you know it's wrong. No, I don't support it, actually. I think it's perfectly right that a court should say somebody's got a prison sentence and a court should say that someone's got a fine. I don't think it's up to the court to say that someone can't stand for public office or is banned from public office. That is up to the people or up to the parliamentary system. Now, I think if somebody has got a prison sentence or if somebody has got a whopping fine and has been found guilty of taking money from one place and using it for another, and I saw this sort of thing, by the way, going on in a British election, so I can't say that Britain is innocent of this. They only tend to make a fuss if the people who are doing the dodginess then win the election. If they don't win the election, nobody seems to care. But it still seems to be something that shouldn't be happening and should be called out. The pooling of money from one place for another. And that seems to be, it seems to me to be wrong, but, that's for a court to decide. It's not for me to decide. It's for me to decide whether or not I want that particular person running for office in my constituency or whatever. Or it's for the Speaker of the House of Commons to decide, as, for example, in the case of the man who hit his own constituent. I think at that point it was quite clear that the Speaker of the House of Commons should have had the authority to be able to throw him out of the House of Commons for an act which was caught on camera and which was clearly an inappropriate act for a member of Parliament. He brought the Parliament into disrespect. That should be a point at which the Speaker of the House of Commons should be able to act. Instead, the Speaker of the House of Commons can only act when it comes to somebody being found guilty of somebody being bankrupt. That really tells us what we think of in Britain, that money is more important than the dignity of the office. Money is more important than the welfare of your constituents. Well, there you are. I think that doesn't make us look terribly good. But in this particular case, no, I was very guarded on what I said, BK, but I was guarded on what I said because there was so much to say, and I'm about to do a lesson, and I don't really want to get into too much detail at this particular point. But having been questioned on it, I certainly don't intend to let it go. So yeah, The James Pilgrim says, I was born in the UK in 1943. My very clever mother warned me about America way back when I was just a child. She said America is a cesspit full of greedy, untrustworthy politicians, and she's been proven right so many times. Just look at Trump's circus, and the word cesspit covers it so well. It does, but I'm afraid cesspit also covers so many things that have gone on in the Westminster Parliament as well. We don't have some sort of it's not a competition to see who is the worst. There are absolute standards, and we should hold every country to that absolute. So the fact that one country isn't behaving terribly well at the moment doesn't mean that we should be comparing it necessarily with another and saying, "Oh, you didn't say this when we did that." No, you measure each individual against the absolute, and the absolute standard is to serve the people that you've been elected for. And finally, Bob Bates draws my attention to the fact that Richard Chamberlain was in The Three and the Four Musketeers, and brilliant he was. Brilliant he was. I much remember those films as well, and I much miss his. I will miss his performances. He was a wonderful actor, and he made a lasting impression.